Oh
But
man.
we lead with this past week was the E3 press conferences, all digital, and go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, here we go. It's all the E3 news. We crushed it this week with E3. Or you did. I watched the stuff. But the gaming industry's big dance was held this past weekend with various streams from big and small publishers alike. While independent publishers such as Square Enix, Capcom, and Bandai Namco held small streams with no PlayStation presence throughout the 5-day event. Microsoft and Nintendo were primed to shoot their shot, and shoot they did. Microsoft, who has been told they have no games for almost a decade, came out swinging with a huge slate of first and third party offerings, headlined by Starfield, Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, Diablo 2 Resurrected. Just gotta say it like that. The Outer Worlds 2, and much more.
You don't have to do that.
I'm sorry. It felt like I had to.
You don't.
It's Diablo 2. I remember playing like the first Diablo. The Outer Worlds 2, and much more. Nintendo did not have a robust lineup as Xbox, but they had the mic drop moment when they debuted footage of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Though no Switch Pro like machine was shown, unfortunately. For our purposes, we have chosen to highlight 8 of the games shown through the weird amalgamation of Summer Games Fest and independent streams.
So I'm gonna. You watched all these trailers.
I watched all of them.
Yep. I gave Greg a list of trailers to watch. All of these trailers can be found either over on IGN or YouTube, wherever you typically consume this type of content. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to break down the 8 that we chose from the various conferences. There was a lot of just nonsense. Like, this kind of sucked, to be honest with you. Overall,
yeah.
Xbox and Bethesda and Nintendo showed some cool things. Other than that, it was kind of hit or miss. Shown during the Summer Games celebration or Summer Games Fest or Jeff Keighley's thing, whatever, was on, I think it was on Thursday, and it was from the creators of Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is Elden Ring, a Souls-like game developed by From Software, with the lore of the world written by George R.R. Martin, which, fuck yourself, man. Releases January 21st, 2022. What did you think of this particular trailer?
It looked all right. I'm always like, I guess with all the trailers, I'm like, where's the gameplay and where's the not gameplay stuff?
Sure. Yeah.
And this one gave me, I felt like the least amount of gameplay.
Other than Avatar, because Avatar, and we'll get to that. It showed nothing.
Other than Avatar, but like I was going to go on a whole thing about Avatar. That's why. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I watched this. I'm like, it was one of those funny things where I was like watching it at breakfast with JD, and she's like, "Are we watching a movie preview?" And I was like, "Kinda," because like nothing's happening. It was weird to me. I don't know. Like, this game might be cool. It wouldn't shock me if the game's cool. But there was not enough gameplay for me, is like, from what I could tell, and like a lot of the things too with like these games is just like, what is? It's weird to me because I have no background with this, so like, give me something. And I felt like we didn't get anything with this. It looked really cool. I thought of all the stuff that we saw, it looked super cool, but it just didn't give me anything. It's just like, oh, is this Lord of the Rings? Kind of like, it was very much like that. Oh, we're in this area and things look mystical and crazy, but I don't know what is actually happening. I don't know the point of this game. It probably is going to be cool. I like the music.
Sure.
Like, that's a good music drop. Like, if that was just in the background of me like cooking eggs, I think it'd be fun. But beyond that, I don't know what we're gonna get with this. I just wish that when we had game previews, it was just game footage and not like the other stuff. But I'm sure I'm not the first person ever to say that.
Well,
or the 2000th person to say that today.
Yeah, gameplay is king. Elden Ring was like announced. I'm not 100% sure when From Software is developing. The Souls series, Bloodborne and Sekiro, are known for being very difficult, punishing games to an almost level where they're just kind of annoying. The only one that I have beaten is Bloodborne. I got fed up with Sekiro. I never tried Dark Souls, any of those three. This looks like it's maybe going to be a little bit more hack and slashy. Just being a little bit more familiar with those games, I kind of know what we're going to see from this. I know Souls fans are going to love it. There's some of the most annoying fans of any franchise out there with how protective they are of this particular franchise. But the George Martin thing, it's not like it's tied into Game of Thrones or anything. So I don't know why it's necessary for him to be writing a video game when he has other very important tasks to accomplish. But I digress. From 343 Studios, we get a release window of Holiday 21 and a multiplayer trailer, as well as some story info for Halo Infinite, one of the big guns for Microsoft Xbox Series X this year.
Yeah, just with all these things, I mean, we'll get into it, but Elden Ring, this is super vague. I wish we had more, but we'll move on.
Yeah, we did move on. I just read the description for Halo.
Well, what I mean, I was just I know that, but I was I just get mad about the Halo thing was the same thing. Halo is just the same game all the time, right? I'm not wrong.
I don't the problem with
the games look exactly the same, and it's just I didn't feel like I learned anything from the Halo thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's Halo, right? I mean, people who like Halo are going to be excited about it, and it's going to have new maps and new levels, and it's going to look better and blah, 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 blah. The problem I have with Halo, and I'll be honest with you, is I'm not a Microsoft guy. And to do Microsoft stuff, we probably should have had our buddy Kevin back to break some of that stuff down. But short notice, and there's really only a couple of Xbox games that I really want to talk about. I've never been good at Halo. And that's why I don't really care about it. I'll be the first to admit it. You know what I mean? I'm not good at Halo games. I don't get the sci-fi action type stuff. I don't get they're not real weapons. They're pretend weapons. They're not, it's super science fiction and all this stuff. And I've just never been good at them. I'm not good at Destiny, which was made by Bungie, who made the original Halo games. I'm not good at those kind of weird sci-fi shooters. I'm not good at Titanfall. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm adequate at Call of Duty. I'm better than average, I would say, but I've never been good at Halo. And that kind of drives me to, whenever a new Halo thing comes out, to kind of turn my nose up at it a little bit. But I know that there's going to be people who are super excited for this. I mean, this is a reason why people bought these new Xbox machines, is for Halo. The first trailer, when it came out around this time last year, there was no formal E3 because of COVID. I think Microsoft just did a presser. It didn't look good at all. And I watched a little bit of the multiplayer trailer. I didn't send that to you, so I don't know if you checked that out or not. But this looks fine. You know what I mean? It looks good. It looks like exactly what you would want from a Halo game. Yeah, it looks exactly like what you would want for a Halo game. The first new universe in over 20 years from Bethesda Game Studios, famous for Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, is Starfield. Described as Skyrim in space and a Han Solo simulator, releases to Xbox and PC November 11th, 2022. There was no gameplay for this either.
Right. So this was trailer. This is one of those things where I was just okay. I don't know what I'm getting. It looks cool. I like space. I've been, I'm a pro space guy. But I don't understand, and you're more about all the stuff than I am. I don't understand why we won't get gameplay more in this stuff.
Well, okay, so let me break this down for you a little bit. Since this isn't your area of expertise.
No, this is not 1980s to 1999 Major League Baseball, so no.
Right. So since this is not your area of expertise, when this game was announced, and it was announced far too soon, I think it was announced in 2017 or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It was just the people who make Elder Scrolls which is like Skyrim and Oblivion, and the people who make Fallout are making a game like that in space. And so for the hardcore fan, that's enough. You know what I mean? Like Skyrim sold crazy copies. You know what I mean? Fallout 3 sold crazy copies. And so for that, or rather for this level of hype for a new game for them, all they needed to do was show a release date, and people are in.
Yeah.
And so they said the release date is November of 2022. So we're still, about a year and a half away. I'm really bummed that this is the first big blow of Bethesda being bought by Xbox and these games not coming to PlayStation. This is the first one for me. Fortunately, I bought a new laptop that has gaming capabilities. I'm hoping that it will be able to play this game, because I do want to play Starfield. I don't know anything about it, but them saying, hey, it's Skyrim in space and it's a Han Solo simulator. Well, I love both of those things.
That sounds really cool. Yeah. I won't be able to play it. So that's just one of those things. Like, I did download Last of Us, though. I have it. Just so you know.
Oh, you're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
From Square Enix, developed by Neo developer Ninja Theory, comes Souls-like game Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. A demo is available for PlayStation users now through June 24th. So they may have extended that because it was buggy. But sure, you will have about a week if you hear this on Friday and want to download the demo and check it out. Release in 2022, no official date given.
I was surprised at how I didn't think the graphics were that good. Like the video that I saw of it. I mean,
the lead character looked super janky. It
looked super weird. And it was like the actual action stuff seemed cool, but the actual, it seemed not good. Like if you told me this was PlayStation 3, I'd be like, yep, this is PlayStation 3. And graphics.
I don't know about that.
It just wasn't that. I don't know. It just didn't look that good.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems fun. I will say 100% it seems fun. And way different than the Final Fantasy that I grew up with. But
right. And that's the thing to point out, that if you're signing up for this expecting black mages, white mages, turn-based combat with numbers flying off people's heads, it's not happening. This is a Souls-like game.
Right.
So it's going to be like Elden Ring. So definitely, if it's something you feel like you might be interested in, check out the demo, or at least some gameplay trailer of that sort of thing. Also from Square Enix, developer Eidos Montreal, famous for the Deus Ex series, comes Guardians of the Galaxy. The game has a release window, a release date of October 26, 2021.
This game just seems it doesn't seem important, but it seems fun. You know what I mean? You're Star-Lord. It has all the comic elements of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the movies. Mm-hmm. To me, and I hope they didn't release too much of it, because that was a long trailer.
Yeah, it was a long trailer.
It was 3 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of Star-Lord jokes. A lot
of Star-Lord jokes. Yeah.
Which I like. I like that we had that, but it's I hope that we didn't lose all of them in that, and then you play the game. And
I'm sure that there will be more. I'm sure it's at least a 25, 30-hour game.
It seems fun. It does actually seem like a lot of, and you're Star-Lord. I like that.
Yeah.
And and you get to do this. Hopefully you'll succeed. It's they play into that. I think Guardians is it's sort of funny to me, as much as the Guardians didn't really last as a comic book. And it's sort of funny how Marvel decided to make it a movie, but it's become this cult thing.
Yeah.
Where and I get it. I mean, I like those movies. I do. And I like them in the other movies. It's taken off as its own thing. I think this game is an easier sell than being the Avengers.
That's interesting you say that, because the Avengers game didn't do well.
Right. And it didn't do well. And because it's so tough to be the Avengers.
Right.
Because
I think that part of it with the Avengers was, why doesn't Cap look like Chris Evans, and why doesn't Robert Downey or Tony Stark look like RDJ, and why doesn't Thor looks like Hemsworth? And it's you would have had to pay those people for their likenesses.
Right.
And that's not cheap. Whereas, they can kind of play around and make these characters look a little bit closer, since most of them are heavily in makeup anyway. I mean, you can make Rocket look, I mean, all he's going to do is look like a raccoon. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if he looks like Bradley Cooper's Rocket, because it's not Bradley Cooper. The only one that's like, to me, like really drastically different looking was Quill. And that's just because you can't make him look like Chris Pratt.
Right.
But whereas I had no interest whatsoever in playing the Avengers game, I'm actually really interested in playing this.
I am same. Yeah. I think this is like a good escapism game.
Right.
You play it for like, it's not a game you want to sit down and play for 3 hours, but it's like, let me play 20 minutes of Guardians, have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't play anything for 20 minutes. So it will be that for me, that I sit down for a good chunk of time.
For someone like me, though, I always look at someone like me. It's like, I only play video games 20, 30 minutes at a time and I move on. Just, that's where it's literally just because of my anxiousness. That's literally, I can't sit and I can't do anything for that long.
Yeah.
So that's just how I am. So if I say that I can do something for 30 minutes, you might as well say he just did something for a day and a half. That's where I'm at. So like, that's a good cue. When you sent me this, I was like, ugh. I was like not with it. And then I watched, I was like, no, this actually seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But then the next game we're going to talk about, exact opposite.
From Ubisoft comes Avatar Frontiers with Pandora. No window was given, but a release of sometime in 2022 was announced.
Don't care. Just like I don't care about these movies. I didn't like the first movie, and we're gonna I think we get 105 of them. I don't know how many we get. I'm so over Avatar. I do not care. This game looks like shit. It just like looks like the movie in 2008 when it came out. It doesn't look that good. It's just like, oh, here's a bunch of colors, kids. Maybe if I'm like 3, I'm intrigued, but like I'm not 3. I'm significantly older than 3. This game gave me nothing. I was just so.
It looked real pretty.
It looked very pretty.
Yeah.
It was a lot of pretty and then nothing inside.
No, I feel like no
game, nothing. I kept waiting for like, can you give me some game?
I don't even know what
this game is about.
This is what I can
It's Ferngully. It's Ferngully.
This is what I can tell you. Okay. This game is a Ubisoft game. And so it'll be a Ubisoft game. And what that means is it'll be Assassin's Creed with Avatar characters.
Okay.
That's what it'll be. And, you know,
That's
they may play around.
Yeah, it is all their game. Yeah.
They may play around with like some of the, you know, the different combat elements. Really the only game that the only real Ubi game that strays away from that sort of open world checkbox formula would be The Division, which is the Tom Clancy thing. And then, you know, some of the other, like some of the other shit that Red Storm does, like with Rainbow Six and all that Tom Clancy stuff. But that's a whole nother ball of wax. Ubisoft games are open world checkbox games. And that's exactly what this is going to be. It's going to be very pretty. And it's going to be an open world checkbox game. My problem with this is that if the Avengers game proved anything, it's that you cannot sell a game on IP recognition alone. And what I mean by that is, what in the world is more recognizable at this moment than the Avengers? Nothing.
Right.
But the game wasn't good. I mean, from all accounts, it was average. It was broken at launch, not Cyberpunk broken, but you know,
nothing is.
And it was just like people had a hard time with it because none of the characters looked like the Avengers. I think that that's going to be the same thing because Avatar was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
The first movie, as you said, we're going to get 105. The original Avatar is, in my opinion, the most overrated movie literally ever.
Yes.
Yeah. For everything it did, like you said, like the colors, and I know that it used 3D really well, but I've got news for you. That story was a lot better when it was Kevin Costner and it was Dances with Wolves. Because it's the same story beat for beat.
Yeah.
Like the same story beat for beat.
James Cameron, just quit. You haven't made a good movie in forever. And
it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just not.
I think it's bad. I was so bored halfway through. I was like, this is so boring.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just not. It's
not good.
Everything that everybody says, you know what I mean? It's not. It's not even close to deserving of the accolades that it has.
It's not worth. Right. No, I'm not excited about this game. Don't care. But I'll switch this game.
Yeah, from Nintendo comes the first 2D Metroid game in 19 years, and the conclusion of the Samus Aran tale in Metroid Dread, October 8 release date for the Nintendo Switch.
Love it. 2D
you
game,
look like you're having a seizure.
I'm gonna buy Nintendo just for this game.
This is the game that you're gonna buy it for?
And plus, I love Brenton.
You're breaking up.
I love Metroid.
Is your internet good? Yeah. Did you take your?
Yeah, my internet's fine.
Oh yeah.
I'm good. I have full Wi-Fi. Good.
Okay. You glitched out for a second.
Good now?
Yeah, you're fine now.
That was weird. Maybe it's trying to smash things. No, I love a 2D game. I love that we're doing 2D. It looks super cool. I love Metroid. I grew up on that. I went Zelda too, but this just looks. We got so much gameplay.
Yeah, there was a lot of gameplay for this.
So much gameplay, and I was like, it gave me goosebumps. I was just like, the first two Zeldas, regular Zelda and then Metroid on regular Nintendo and then Super Nintendo Metroid. I got those vibes, but just better. It was just like, this is just the best version of this they could ever.
Yeah, you keep cutting out, man.
Happen, and I don't know why my internet's.
Yeah, there you go.
I have no idea. Are we all right?
Yeah, I don't know. You keep having issues. You keep dropping.
I have no idea why.
Well, now it's fine.
It's fine. Okay.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Well, I just grew up with Metroid and I love it. And this game, to see it as a 2D game, in 2021, made me super excited.
Yeah. It's
I'm down. I don't know if people care. I don't know if people younger than us care about 2D games, but I think 2D game, that's actually weird to say, is cool. I think it's cool. I don't know. It looks super fun. It seems like a Metroid game. That's what I want. I want a Metroid game to be a Metroid game.
Finally from Nintendo, no introduction needed for Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, the follow-up to the 2017 Game of the Year. Nintendo has said that the true name of the game has not yet been revealed because it would be a spoiler.
It looks super cool too.
Yeah, it's Zelda.
It's Zelda.
Can't go wrong.
It's the Marvel of the Nintendo universe.
No, Mario is. Cut that out.
The thing is Mario 2 happened.
Mario 2 is not really Mario 2 though. Zelda 2, guess what? Zelda 2 happened too. Link's Adventures. Go play it.
Oh yeah,
not that great.
Was weird. That's super weird. That is such a weird game. Yeah, that game was weird. I've played all the Zelda games until they advanced the systems and I moved away from Nintendo. But I'm excited.
Excuse me.
I think this might be the fall of Nintendo for me. Nintendo of fall. I don't know how I want to say it.
You don't want to say the fall of Nintendo.
Not the fall of Nintendo. The Nintendo of fall, or the autumnal Nintendo. That's weird. That's hard to say. Autumnal Nintendo.
Non-E3 gaming news. Cyberpunk 2077 will be heading back to the PlayStation Store. So you can purchase that if you are a PS3 or a PS4 or a PS5 owner in the next week.
I won't.
Hackers broke into EA, one of the world's largest gaming publishers. At minimum, the Frostbite engine, which powers EA Sports and Battlefield games and is a proprietary engine for EA, has been stolen. Player data was not compromised. I'm surprised a bigger deal wasn't made of this. I think it got overshadowed by the fact that this weekend was E3 and it kind of maybe flew under the radar. Finally, And what's not really a surprise, Microsoft is looking to build Xbox into smart TVs and streaming sticks, and says that they're already working on their new hardware. So there's that.
There's that.
There was nothing. There was no Sony presence. Nothing. Not a single thing.
So weird.
Well, I imagine within the next month or so, they're going to do their own thing, and it's going to be a thing. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
So we will do that. So yeah, E3, honestly, not that great this year, but there's a few cool things. I think if I had to pick one game that I'm most excited about, I honestly think it would be that Guardians game. It's close. It's October 26th. And it just looked fun. Like you said, it just looked fun. Like I'll probably play Elden Ring, and I won't like it because those games make me want to break things. I'm obviously not going to play Halo because I'm not an Xbox guy. I hope that my PC or my laptop runs Starfield because I do want to play that. I'm not sure about the Final Fantasy game. That's kind of hit or miss. I just don't like Souls games. Not going to play Avatar. And then with Metroid and Zelda, we'll just kind of see. Right. So my game of the show would honestly probably be Guardians. As weird as that sounds.
No, that sounds exactly where I'm at.